Hello and welcome back to The Great Cricketer, brought to you by Budgie Smuggler, budgiesmuggler.com. Use the code goodareas and watch that shipping fee disappear. You know what, Australia? Do you dare to dream? Do you dare to dream in ways that no man has ever made a speech about dreaming? This could be absolute dreamland, next to Sleep City, of course, where Australia are on the precipice. It feels like anyway, on the precipice of a 2-0 Ashes lead after 2 simple test matches. It's very simple chalk. It's just me today. Pezza is in commute back to Australia, so it's just going to be me today. I'm talking to some English fans around the grounds today, and they think it's over. And I think that's a little premature because England have done amazing things over the course of the last 12 months, politically speaking, of course, but also in the cricket sense. They've chased 1 million. They've chased 2 million, and they could well do that today. In this test match, rather. Especially without Nathan Lyon, we'll speak about in a moment's time. But with ANGE POSTECOGLOU in the stands today, geez, it felt safe. Are Spurs in safe hands? Is that new stadium going to be looked after with ANGE POSTECOGLOU there? I just saw a photo on the internet today from Tailenders yesterday, our dear friends at Tailenders with Greg James and Felix and also John Howard. And also Stephen Fry in one of the weirdest photos I've ever seen, but it's good gear. And with ANGE POSTECOGLOU there today, I felt very, very safe. Now, I've got a few questions. What the fuck happened this morning, England? And that was the general consensus throughout the stands today, where I can't tell if this is good. I can't tell if we're having fun. I can't tell if I really want this series. Now, obviously, I want my team to win, but I think I want my team to win Day 5, Session 5 at the Oval. Just absolute, again, dreamland, speaking of dreams. But I kind of get the feeling that no one's really enjoying this that much because England absolutely shat the bed today. Like, what happened this morning? They lost 6 for 47 in one of the most ridiculous sessions of cricket I've ever seen. I'm obviously still reeling about ANGE POSTECOGLOU being there today. And obviously, significant news this morning about Nathan Lyon's significant strain, which is what I was doing in my hotel room this morning. Significant strains left, right and centre. But Nathan Lyon appears to be on the precipice of leaving the series in the same way the Australian are on the precipice of being 2-0 up. But with Nathan Lyon nearly out of the series, and it just looked like it was going to be a tough day for Australia today with that news as well. And instead, England lost 6 for 47. Ben Stokes got squared up early by Mitchell Starc. Mitchell Starc came storming back. What did Mitchell Starc finish with? He finished with 3 for 88 after getting pumped yesterday at 7s. Comes back today and squares up Ben Stokes early on, and it's fucking big old mitts there at gully. Big old mitts there. And you can't tell me that a guy with 2 foam fingers that you get at a baseball match is catching that. You need bigger mitts than that. One of the great catches. One of the great catches there from Cameron Grant, who's only taking screamers now. He's only taking screamers at gully. And I, for me, love a screamer in the gully. So that sort of sets a trend. And then what happened? I mean, Harry Brook gets out after that, and we see Boycott with his head in his hands. Now, I think it was it Hazelwood bowls the ball sort of into the chest region. Harry Brook backs away, as is his want. He's allowed to do that. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he sort of like squirts it in the air to like a 3/4 man on the fence, which is Pat Cummins, who takes the simplest of catches. And everyone's going, what the fuck am I watching? Is this happiness? As I said earlier, I want my team to win the series, sure. But I had so much hope in my heart, and it is the hope that kills you and the cholesterol, that this was going to be a great series. And so, like, when I'm seeing England absolutely burn a very positive position of being, I think it was 180 for 1 at some stage last night, then losing 6 for 47 today, I mean, it's not quite tragic. I mean, that seems quite aggressive. But the manner of the dismissals is like, am I looking at match fixing? Because, I mean, there's so many ridiculous things happening that if it was anyone else, I'd be like, well, that's match fixing. But instead, it's just a way of playing the game. Am I having a good time watching this? England have this sort of conundrum where it's like, well, you got to take the good with the bad. You know, for all the happiness that the boundaries give you and the way they're playing, that happiness, you can't be upset then when it looks really bad. But I kind of feel like you can. I kind of feel like you're allowed to be upset when your number 5 batsman who's set and he's made 50 and it was a very good 50, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. I think you're allowed to have fucking severe crow's feet when a guy backs away and squirts a ball to sort of 3/4 deep cover to the captain off Hazelwood, and then just like sets this trend of going, I don't know if I'll ever get past those crow's feet. You know, like when your parents said to you, don't make faces in case the wind changes, then you'll be stuck like that forever, which seems really, really harsh as a rule, generally speaking. But I'm getting fucking crow's feet for life looking at the weirdest, most ridiculous half hour of cricket for England. Now I'm, first and foremost, what am I? I guess I'm an Australian fan first and foremost, then cricket fan. Am I? Who gives a fuck? I just want both teams to have a really good game. That's a lie. I don't. I'm just looking at that and I'm thinking, if I'm an England fan, then sometimes I like to think that I am, for colonial reasons. And I'm watching that. What the fuck am I watching? And then Bairstow just fucking underarms a fucking length ball to Cummins at mid-on off Hazelwood again. This is not a serious cricket team. And that must be how England fans are feeling. Like, this is all rubbish. Now, like, for all the great things that Bazball has done, to use that phrase, it just feels like they've come up against a good side. I believe that there's a statistic going around that this is the first time that any test attack has had 4 bowlers with more than 200 wickets. Obviously, these guys are your bowlers, but they've played so little together over the time that they've all passed 200 now. This is the first time that they've all had 200 wickets. The point being, it's a good bowling attack. And for all the things that they've done against Pakistan away, South Africa at home, New Zealand at home, I'm watching this and I'm like, this is not a serious cricket team. It is fucking ridiculous. And the hubris of the comments, again, just to use the hubris term, we're going to win by 150. I thought we actually won the first day. I thought we won the first test match. Zach Crawley's 4 was my favourite Ashes memory ever. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm getting upset on England's behalf here, and I feel like I'm just doing sort of half a job with each side here, with a foot in each camp, as is my want. Head gets Ollie Robinson and Stuart Broad. A lovely bit of keeping there from Alex Carey, who takes a catch off Ollie Robinson. And he's having a fantastic series so far, Alex Carey. There's plenty more cricket to go, and this test match isn't even done, but it just feels like England aren't a serious cricket team, and Australia have somehow, despite all the conditions being in England's favour, winning the toss on what looked like a green seamer, overhead conditions, lights on. Australia make 416 despite losing 7 for 100. The next day, day 2, absolute belter. England win the day yesterday. No questions about that. No question about them winning the day yesterday. They come out today and they bat absolutely fucking embarrassingly, to be honest. And then they get the conditions, okay, then overheads again, drizzle in the air. Lights on, you're thinking, okay, this is their time. They can really get stuck into Australia here. The 91-run lead of the first innings might not matter that much at the end of the day's play. And they bowled okay. They didn't bowl badly. But, I mean, fucking come on. At the end of the day, for Australia to be, 2 for 130 and to be leading by 221, when all the conditions have been in the favour of the home side. And Australia's down a bowler. I mean, if England don't win this test match, it's I don't know if it's diabolical. I mean, England is still right in the test match, and they're still right in the series. I mean, the way the series so far has ebbed and flowed, I feel pissed off. I can sense my tone already talking to this camera as a man just standing in a field outside Lord's, talking to a camera, completely normal stuff. I'm annoyed, and I'm imbuing this sense that England fans are annoyed as well. Like, for all the good work, is it being undone? Is it being undone, England fans? Are we happy? Is it all worth it for this? I just feel like they're letting a lot of people down, including themselves. That's really, really harsh stuff. Now, Australia led by 91 after the first innings. Stark had 3 for 88. A nice comeback for Stark, who obviously was going at 100s last night. Head takes 2 for 17. Hazelwood takes 2 for 71. Those are your bowlers there, taking 7 of your 10 wickets. Now, Australia 2 for 130. The rain stopped the day's play. I think they're about 20 or 30 overs short for the day's play today. And KHAWAJA, once again, is a key figure. He's a key figure, 58 off 123. Warner, 25 off 76. And then Marnus gets a weird 30 off 51. Now, the reason I'm mentioning the balls there, because I do feel like time out of the game is just like the complete tonic to what Bazball is trying to become. Now, Australia, I don't know if it's a deliberate tactic or they're just really grinding out. I guess they're allowed to grind out because England are trying to play the game so quickly. I don't know what a good score is, but I'm sure you guys have seen the stats anyway. The 344 is the highest winning score at Lord's. 406 is the highest fourth innings score ever, obviously in a losing side. The lead is 221. There's plenty of time in the game. The wicket, it's supposed to be sunny the next couple of days. It's cold as fuck here today. It's like 17, 18 degrees and drizzle. So I suppose anything can happen. There you go. There's a summation. Anything can happen. But you know what? In terms of crow's feet, and I know you guys are giving me crow's feet, but you must have been watching England play the last well, definitely today, for all of today, and definitely day one, it's crow's feet everywhere. And I empathise with that disposition because I had so much hope in my heart, and again, once again, cholesterol, that this was going to be a great series, and I just feel like England and Australia, they match up quite well. Now, the ebbs and flows of this series do mean that England can storm back in, but you just feel like they're just not a serious team. I'm just reiterating the point, but I feel let down. Do you feel let down? Let us know in the comments. But once again, KHAWAJA, key figure, 50 out of 123. Have you ever seen KHAWAJA score a run in England? Well, he's doing a serious job here. Ever since he's come back into the Australian side, fuck me, it has been extremely, extremely impressive. And Warner's 25 as well, whilst taking time out of the game and putting overs and workloads into these English bowlers' legs, who surely will not play. They will not play the same side in a week's time at Leeds. Warner's contribution of 25 in Australia, I think the first wicket partnership was maybe 70 or something like that, in like extremely difficult circumstances where the lights are on, jumpers are on, hand warmers are in pockets, and that contribution, whilst it's just been 25, for me, I say that he should get a 10-year IPL deal. There you go. Finally, someone said it. But Marnus is in a weird space, isn't he? Now, I'm going to give you hashtag #AskCDC from someone's burner account. And that is Marnus Labuschagne the biggest example of a home track bully? I mean, yeah, possibly. But also, I looked at his stats before this test match, and he averages 44 away from home. So, like, that feels a little bit to me. Like, he's only got 100 away from home. But that does feel a little bit to me of, like, Ollie Robertson's stats. Like, how's his record so good? Now, Marnus, like, he's got 30 today and didn't look quite right. Same in the first innings, he made 47, didn't he? And didn't look quite right, but, in a month of Sundays, I am taking a scratchy 30 as a very ordinary grey cricketer myself. Every single day of the week. I could not have another bite because I'm biting your hand off for every single one of those 30 runs in a month of Sundays. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and neither do you, but it really feels like as you're waking up Australia and you look at that scorecard and the names and the numbers are matching up and you think, is Australia going to win this game? Now, what's going to happen tomorrow morning is Australia's going to lose 8 for 50, and can England chase 270 in a day's play? Now, I think what's actually going to happen, or what you can guarantee, is Australia is not declaring, because England are obviously going to go for the win. Now, if Australia managed to bat all day tomorrow, Steve Smith is also in with KHAWAJA, and that, I guess that's a possibility if the sun's out and it flattens out a little bit. Some tired bowlers. There's a possibility that Australia could bat all day, in which case the lead will be somewhere around about 6,500. Australia could declare on day 5 with 2 sessions left with a 7 million run lead, and England will go for it because that's the nature of the sport. Are they ever going to change? And that's what it feels like this game's all about. Are they ever going to learn? Because today, that was fucking ridiculous. See you tomorrow.